What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Urban EDC Supply exclusive Devo Barley. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do some size comparison, profile comparison, weigh the knife, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. Shout out to Lefty EDC and Devo Nice for letting this be included in the pass around group, and Urban EDC Supply because this is an exclusive to Urban EDC Supply. You cannot get this one anywhere else. Let's go ahead and jump into the size comparisons. Let's do a couple of folders first because I think most people are familiar with folders. Here it is against the medium-sized Spyderco Shaman. So you can see it's a pretty decently sized little slip joint here. Here it is against the Spyderco Shaman, which does not compare very well to, but that's it for the folder comparisons. I'm going to bring out a couple of other slip joints that I really like on the channel that I highly recommend because they are very affordable. First, we got the QSP Hedgehog. This one is a traditional pocket knives exclusive M390 titanium with fat carbon scales that you can get for $145. Links down below. And the next knife that we're going to bring out here is also going to be another traditional pocket knives exclusive Lake Chaplin Barlow, which is more of a medium-sized, truly medium-sized slip joint that I really like because it does kind of fill the gap for me as far as slip joints because you can get a full grip on it. You can probably tell by the way that it's laying down on the table. This is definitely much more thinner in profile. So let's do a quick, I don't want to scratch it because it is again on loan. Let's do a quick little profile comparison, and you can see this is a very thin slip joint. Now, when I talked to Kevin, and when Kevin has talked about this, he did say he took inspiration from the tactile knives company Bear. And as you can see here, it is very close in thinness to the Bear. And I love the fact that he took inspiration from this one and made it his own. So let's go ahead and jump into, actually, I'm sorry, I forgot about the weight. It shouldn't weigh very much. I think this is like a 3 ounce or maybe a sub 3 ounce slip joint here. Yeah, 2.5 ounces. So yeah, right under or half an ounce under 3 ounces. It feels very light in hand, guys. It's very, very nice. Let's jump into, again, ergos first. So you have a full forward finger choil here that you can go all the way up to the second knuckle on with larger hands, which is nice because if you start to kind of push on it and it starts to want to break, your finger is going to kind of be there, one, to help control it, and two, to help it kind of not close on your hand. But really, I found like full power grip on this is pretty comfortable for something this thin. It's girthy, feels nice in hand. I'm able to get all 4 fingers on it, which I really appreciate. Not a lot hanging out of the back there. And it is really thin behind the edge. Of course, I mean, it is a thin knife. I'm not quite sure how you're going to get a lanyard in there. It's so thin that that's going to be really tight, but for people that like to throw their lanyards on their slip joints, it is there. It may take a little bit of work to get it on there. The work on here is really nice. The transition from the back spring to the spine of the blade is really smooth. I can't feel where it jumps at all, and I have that same compliment for the scales and the slip joint. Not quite sure who the OE is on this, but they did a really good job. Now, the blade performs well. It is very slicey. It has great tip out here. I meant to grab a sheet of paper. I always do this. I leave it up on the top of that shelf over there, but it feels like it could use a strop, and I may just strop it up a little bit before I send it along to the next reviewer because it's really tearing through there. Actually, let's just really quick, and I'll skip ahead. All right, so 15 on either side. M390 is a little bit harder, so I wanted to go a couple extra. Yeah, huge difference. It's still tearing ever so slightly, but it is a big difference on the performance. And again, this might be a prototype. It might not be the production because everything's in pre-order state right now. So I don't know how much better that edge will come. And again, I think this has been through quite a few hands. So I think probably like another 5 to 10 strops on here would really do this edge a ton of justice for the pass around. But it's not my knife. I just want to touch it up a little bit so that I can test it and get it to the next person with a little bit of a better edge than I got it. This one's coming in with the plain titanium at 250 and with the Sagaha pattern at 299. Now, I do think that it is unique enough to justify that price point. I think it's competitive against like the Jack Wolfs and things out there, and the build quality is really good. If you like the look of it, the finger choil is unique to a slip joint, and you like the exclusivity of this particular knife, I definitely feel like it's worth the price of admission. But I hear you, for those of you out there that are going to comment that this is a little bit out of their price range. And that's where I would go back to the QSP Hedgehog lineup as a whole, because it is not going to be as well of a performer, but it does come in 14C28N and your choice of micarta or carbon fiber, starting at under $60. So if you're curious about slip joints, you want something affordable that is going to perform well, you're getting 14C28N with a hollow grind, you're getting micarta or carbon fiber depending on what you want. It's closer to $80 for that carbon fiber variant, but the base Hedgehog is something that I feel confident that if you picked it up, it may be something that you enjoy if you're not traditionally into slip joints, but you're curious and you want to take a look and you don't want to spend a ton of money to look at it. Now, when you get to these traditional pocket knives exclusives, you're getting M390 titanium with jigging or titanium with the fat carbon onlays, and you can get a style that may be something that you're a little bit more interested in for around 140. So a little bit more premium and really well done. It is a QSP, so I do get some people might be like, well, that's a budget brand. It performs really well. It has nearly, for me, for full finger grip, really done a really well done working style blade shape. Draw cuts, utility cuts, power cuts are going to do well on this, and I do use mine, both of them, quite frequently when they're in the fifth pocket. If I want to kind of break down just a quick package, if I got one thing coming in, I've done it with these and had full confidence. Now the walk and talk on the titanium one is a little bit better than this one, so the fat carbon on here does mute it down a little bit, but the walk itself is really nice on here. I would say a little bit stronger on the Hedgehog than what you're getting on the Barley, but the Barley is a thin knife with a thinner spring overall, but it still has way nicer walk and talk than my Bear, and I love my Bear. I would say this is probably about a 4 and then a 5, so a 4 and then a 5 on the pull for me. And on that close, check that walk out. You see that pop? That's nice. I mean, it just has just a little bit of bump in the suction where it wants to pull the blade away from you on the movement to get to those positions is really nice on here. I like this a lot. I missed out on the pre-order because I wanted to check this out, but I really like it. I'm more on that kind of on the fence with the slip joints. I'm not going in head first, but I do really like these models from traditional pocket knives because A, they're affordable, B, they're premium enough for me to really be able to enjoy them, and they perform, which are the three things that I really like. Now, if you missed out on the pre-order, I would watch for the drop because more than likely they over-ordered so that you can get some when they do come in. Alternatively, I would say, and I'm just going to say really quickly, for me, for my tactile, it's very mushy. It feels very muted. The action is nowhere near as good as it is on the Barley, but I will say they're very competitive for their pricing. I believe these start at $199 for the regular titanium, and it does come with a tactile milling on it irregardless if you like that. If you don't, I would say the Barley, because it's 250 for the flat titanium. I would have liked to have seen it 199 to kind of compete with the Bear, because I think the Bear is going to be the better draw for someone that's not quite there. But I think someone that really wants the premium, the Barley's probably going to be right in that price point. And then with tactile, you're getting Magna Cut, which is kind of the sexy steel, but I still like M390 and 20CV a little bit better. I feel like the edge retention and edge performance is a lot better on M390 and 20CV than what you're getting with Magna Cut. Magna Cut's really good, but I still feel like what I see 20CV and M390 at the proper heat treat outlast my Magna Cut. But again, I'm saying that, and this one's like 61. The Maverick that I have that's heat treated at 63, I am noticing a difference. It's holding an edge a little bit longer, but I still feel like those 20 CVs and M390s that are heat treated 63 are holding up longer. So just my personal opinion. I actually like the styling on this a little bit better because I like that blade shape. It reminds me a lot of my Hedgehog. And I like that because I like to be able to kind of use the edge of it to get into some tape and things like that. And then it's nice because when I'm on a flat surface, if I'm cutting out a label or something like that, it works really well. So I really like this. I like the ergos on this a lot too, because I feel like sometimes with my Maverick, I can only get legit 3.5 on there. So it does feel a little uneasy with the thinness. I feel like what Kevin did with the Fuller and just a little bit more thickness on it. Really ergonomically, I like the Barley better. But what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear y'all's feedback. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, the comments, that is subscribed. I love you guys. I appreciate all support, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.